Hey Siri, what's paradox? Hello everyone and welcome back to my podcast. As always, I'm your host, Siri Kanaganti, and welcome back to the show. So before I begin my episode, I talk about the opening question, related to this, relates to that, talk about my perspective on it. Okay, now I'm kind of giving away the game plan or episode plan for my episodes. But anyways, before I begin, actually making jokes, hosting Siri Talks Back, I guess, I just want to start off this episode by saying I am so sorry for the delay on this episode. I know it's been a month, I'm gonna say, but either way, it's been a really long time, and not only obviously it might have been annoying for you, maybe not. It depends how much weight my podcast has in your life. But anyways, it was definitely annoying for me because I love filming and not only expressing my thoughts, but knowing the fact that I have a loyal fan base that I can talk to about it. So anyways, I really missed filming my podcast, and more importantly, it hurt me somewhat emotionally, the fact that you guys had been I came back after a long time, then I started filming, you guys gave me so much support, so much love, and a lot of views, and then all of a sudden I disappear again. But I do want to lift some weight off my shoulders. I've been trying my best to film, but there have been a lot of scheduling conflicts. And then I think once or twice I filmed an episode, but it wasn't quality top tier. And personally, I feel like if I take so long to make these episodes, I publish every week, I don't publish every day, and I don't film or produce on a daily basis, but I still make you guys wait some time. Obviously it's been a month, and I felt like if I'm gonna have you wait for so long, then you guys deserve quality episodes, because in the world of monetization, I believe the main principle is quality over quantity. So first of all, I just want to apologize on my behalf, on everyone's behalf, I guess, but I appreciate all the love, the support, the fact that you guys don't even care that I go on these long breaks, or not breaks, but that I go on these long month long not filming. So I just want to say I really appreciate that. But enough of sorry, I'm obviously, apologies are important, you guys, don't be toxic. But enough of this, and let's move on to the actual episode. So our opening question was, what's paradox? Now, before I actually give my definition of one, because I usually give a definition, I'm oh, here's an example. Today I'm going to do the opposite. I'm going to give the example of one and then do my definition, because I struggle with words even though I'm in honors English. But that's a whole another story. Anyways, I would say the best example of paradox, the most clearest one, is all animals are equal, but some are more equal than others. Now, if you passed elementary school, and my friends, I know that most of you passed elementary school, and if you don't, then yay, keep studying, yay, unicorn, rainbow, whatever. But anyways, if you passed elementary school, which I'm 99.9% sure you have, then you'll know that if something is more equal than another thing, it does not make sense, because if it's equal, they're the same. But if you have more or less, then it means they're not the same. So how can something that's supposed to be the same be not the same? I don't know how to put it into words, but I would say a paradox is essentially something that's contradictory, in the way that it's a black hole that's infinite, and no matter what you do, no matter what philosophy you have, it's impossible to escape. Actually, impossible to escape sounds like my podcast. Yo, keep watching my podcast. Nah, I'm just kidding. Maybe I'll edit that out. I don't want to be mean to you today, because we're already discussing something that kind of leads a little bit into not politics, but maybe philosophy, which can easily lead to politics. Anyways, I don't want to spoil the episode. Wait, am I spoiling the episode if I'm filming it? Okay, I don't even understand myself or my podcast at this point. It's been a month, you guys. Cut me some slack. But anyways, yeah, paradox is when it's contradictory. I would say another example is of a paradox would be statement A says that statement B is false. Statement B says that statement A is true, and it just gets so confusing, and I don't know why I keep doing this motion. I guess that's my motion of the episode, I guess. But it just gets so confusing to the point that you just wonder why you exist at this point, and you just want to stop thinking about the paradox, because it really does bend your mind or hurt it. Or if you're like me, it doesn't really bother you. It's like, don't want to start talking about it because you know it's going to be never ending debate with your nerdy friends. And this is in no way shading my nerdy friends, but at the same time, like, yo, this episode is for you guys. But anyways, let's move on to some actual real life paradoxes, because I find that real life paradoxes are really interesting because you never really like truly think, wait, this does not make sense. Yo, this ain't adding up. But when you actually like notice it, then it's really interesting to know that like, oh, our world is so confusing. But to be fair, this podcast is also confusing because the host is confusing. So yeah, I'm basically, it's like taking y'all with me in my journey of confusion. And yeah, I'm weird, but you guys are weird for watching this. Yeah, lots of love. But anyways, so on the topic of equality, I would say one of the biggest, well, here's the, oh, Siri, you're terrible. Okay, not Siri, you're a terrible person, but this is the Siri, what are you doing part. The following examples, I'd say, aren't actually paradoxes. They're just highly debated gray areas that are the best examples of real life paradoxes that I, as a soon to be 14, currently 13-year-old youth in California experiences. But anyways, so the first example I have on the topic of being equal and stuff is equality versus equity. Now, first of all, if you don't know what either of those are, then this is going to be a really hard topic for you and you're going to struggle. But I'm nice enough to not make you use Google while watching my podcast. So anyways, equality, we all thought it's like, yay, everything's perfect. Wow, more unicorn rainbows, whatever, like makes you happy. Yeah, so essentially, we all thought equality was like everything is equal, it's perfect, but that's a fluke, you guys. Okay. That was a bit aggressive. I don't know why I'm so like hyped and pumped today, but hey, I had a good day, you guys. But anyways, equality is not everything is equal and perfect. Equality is just giving everyone the same things. So I will like dive into an example of this later, but equality is basically just giving everyone the same opportunities and things that are needed in life, I guess. Yeah, that would, because I don't want to spoil the example too much. You know, I'm just going to stop the side comments and go into equity. So equity is similar to equality, but it's different in the sense that equity is what people, like giving people not the same things, but giving them what they need. And I know this sounds really stupid, but I have this really good example for you guys. So equality is like if you have 3 friends, you give everyone 1 candy bar. So that's equality, giving everyone a single candy bar, because candy bars are what you need to succeed in life. And I think that's kind of advertising because I sell treats, so come buy some, because candy and chocolate and sugar is what you need to live. But don't show this to a doctor. Yeah. But anyways, equality is like giving all 3 of your friends 1 candy bar each. And then I would say equity is more like if you have a really hungry friend, a kind of hungry friend, and a not hungry friend at all, is like giving the really hungry friend 2 candy bars, the kind of hungry friend 1 candy bar, and the not hungry at all friend 0 candy bars. So obviously 3 times 1, 1 plus 2 plus 0, both of those equal 3. So it's the same amount of resources, or, well, candy bars, but in equity, you're giving people what they really need, which I think is better because if someone, like, for example, if you didn't give the first person an extra candy bar, they'd go hungry. The second person, it doesn't really matter because they anyways wanted 1. And then if you gave the third person, the one who's not hungry at all, 1 candy bar, they would just be, like, eating unnecessarily, maybe, or like, I'm not telling you not to eat, but if you're not hungry and you eat, it could turn into something that's not the healthiest. I don't know. I'm not a dietologist, dietitian, you guys. Yeah. Those honors English words are really pumping through. I'm not a dietitian, so let's not get into eating disorders. Actually, that is a really good episode idea. So, thank you, filming Siri. Yeah, you're welcome, editing Siri. But anyways, so obviously, equity is like giving people what they really need, and everyone is like full and happy and like satisfied with their candy bars. Then equality is just like, you know, giving everyone the same things. Like one person's gonna be hungry, one person's like just probably gonna waste their candy bar, and then there's always that one person that's like the same and benefits from both. Now I don't know if that specific, like, oh, this one person benefits the same from both in real life, but I would say the best example of like equality versus equity, or like kind of how it works in our real world, is affirmative action. So affirmative action. Now I know lightly on the subject of this, but I can't give you like a full giant summary or like use Wikipedia for this one thing, you guys. I don't make you Google a lot, but I would really suggest Wikipedia for this one thing. Affirmative action is basically the act of like, okay, not the act of something, but it's basically it's like action taken, and yeah, I know action's in the name. Let me finish editing, Siri. Yeah. But anyways, affirmative action is like giving college or like high school students of different races like opportunities for college, sort of trying to balance it out. So it's basically like, for example, there are the ratio of like other races to Native Americans is like really low, so it's like giving Native Americans more opportunities than you would than like per se like maybe sorry table, you guys, don't mind the anti ASMR sounds, I'm just really fidgety today. But the best example is like giving people of Native American descent or like heritage like way more opportunities for college, high school, this that, rather than someone who's like predominantly white or something, a race that you see much more often rather than Native Americans. Now, I'm not trying to call Native Americans rare or white people common. I'm not trying to like label races, just saying that this is an example of how the world works. So that is like highly debated, and there's no really answer to a paradox. Like obviously I'm sharing my opinion on it, which is different, but you can't really put a label or like find an answer to a highly debated gray area. But all I'm going to say is that I personally believe equity is better, because equality, giving people the same things is okay, but sometimes it can be unnecessary, too little or too much, and it's just way too complicated. So let's just give people what they need. Now, what do you need and what do I need? I need viewer support, not trying to be greedy. And you need Siri in your life. So give me a view, you guys. Keep watching. But anyways, our next highly debated gray area that hurts my mind is, I would say, equalism versus feminism. Now, this example is based on my human error. And then the next example is also related to human error. So, your girl got those smooth transitions. But anyways, I don't know if you've been noticed, but I've been using more like youth terms, like how I actually speak in my podcast, because I feel like that's a whole nother story as well. Maybe I should do an episode about how I decide what to put on my podcast, whatnot, because I don't edit a lot out. Okay, you guys, we're sidelining. Yeah, I'm looking at you, viewer, who's not even here while I'm filming. Yeah, maybe that was corny. But anyways, our next example is feminism versus equalism. Now, feminism is, as we all know, as the angry sexist people who believe that like men are elite believe is a terrible thing. Now I'm not saying it's a terrible thing. I'm saying some annoying people who are mentally wrong, not mentally wrong, but who are wrong, think that feminism is a really bad thing. But most of us recognize feminism as a measure of equality. So feminism is essentially the belief that men and women are equal. Now, a lot of people have gotten this twisted. Some people think that it's about women are equal or like women are better than men. Some people, I think very few people got it like terribly wrong and thought it was that men are better than women, but it's literally just that women are equal to men. So I thought, me being like the most, not super overly optimistic, but having the wrong idea, I thought it's like, oh, women are equal to men. That means that feminism is about everyone being equal. And in a way it is, but it's like when something says something subtly, but it's not clearly, and then you use that and you get in trouble. Now, I didn't get in trouble, but my friends and I had an argument about it, and it was like a really long time ago. But anyways, I came to my sights when a fellow friend told me, hey, you're thinking of equalism. So equalism is the belief that everyone, regardless of like race, religion, favorite food, I guess, that's random, but like race, religion, age, ethnicity, nationality, place of living, date of birth, time of birth, like all these random factors. It's mostly about like your heritage or like things that define you as a person, like your race. But favorite food or like whether you watch Siri talks back or not are also forms of discrimination in a way, technically. Okay, but anyways, equalism's like everyone is equal regardless of whatever it is. Like I am equal to a toddler. Yeah, a toddler who's a different race and gender, whatever, age. Yeah, basically, that is what equalism is. So you can kind of, like, as I'm explaining, you can see where the confusion would have begun. But I was just, like, proudly saying that I'm a feminist, and I was like spreading the message, not unnecessarily, but pretty much everywhere, being really annoying about it. Now, being annoying about your beliefs is another thing that I'm saving a different episode for, so like, not gonna stay pretty touchy on subject. But yeah, so I got feminism confused with equalism. I'm like, hey, I'm a feminist, I'm awesome because I think everyone's equal. And then someone told me, hey, you're actually thinking of equalism. And then I realized that I should just say, like, first of all, be more subtle about my beliefs, and also be like, if anyone asks, yeah, I'm actually equalist. Now, I do support feminism, but I prefer calling myself an equalist because it, like, matters more. Now, I know you're like, hey, Siri, okay, maybe you're not like this, but if you're like, hey, Siri, I'm facing this problem too, what do I do? So, essentially, the answer, because there's not answers to paradoxes, but there are answers to highly debated gray areas, as I've labeled these examples. The answer is that feminism is only one measure of equality in the title, or like in the meaning, in the direct Wikipedia or like Google meaning, whatever. Feminism is just one measure of equality, and equalism is like every single measure of equality. And that is why I prefer to be called an equalist. Now, I know you're going to be like, hey, didn't you just say you prefer equity over equality? Why are you calling yourself an equalist? Hey, man, this is calling me out. That's just mean. But anyways, maybe actually that in itself is a paradox. Wait, am I paradoxical? Is that even a word? What if this entire podcast is like a fluke paradox? Guys, stop making me question myself. But anyways, our final example is what I call the paradox of marketing, but what I prefer to call the human error, and especially the problem with Gen Z. Now, before I begin, I am not hating on Gen Z, and my next episode is actually related to generation. Shh, don't tell anyone. But anyways, I'm not hating on Gen Z or any like type person. I'm talking about our flaws as a human society. But basically, what I call the paradox of marketing is basically the fact that when someone tries really hard, we like reject them. Now, this can be like, first of all, rejection, like love, like if someone like works really hard and like proposes to you or something, you might be like, hey, you're corny, get out, or something, which first of all is let's not get into that topic, but that's one example. So basically, the paradox of marketing is that, as I said, I'm interested in marketing. I could like not only, okay, so let's say I become a super like professional marketing, no, let's actually not get into that. Let's say I hired this like super top tier, like, let's say this person somehow attended multiple Ivy League schools or something, has a really good education in marketing, did a master's in marketing, which you can't actually do because you can't get a master's degree or a PhD in marketing. It's pretty sad. But anyways, that's a whole different topic. But anyways, as I was saying, I feel like I keep repeating that. Going back to the subject, gotta find alternatives, gotta have variety, you guys. Okay, to stop sidelining, you could have someone who's like super skilled at marketing, at this and that, like good at color schemes, good at like psychology, neurology, because actually those all draw into marketing, good at everything related to marketing, and like you pay them like, I don't know, this is unrealistic, I'm just exaggerating, you could pay them like $1 million to make an ad, and it'll be like top tier, super quality, amazing. And then when you put that ad out for like, let's say I hired someone to do that for my podcast, I could get 0 viewers from the ad just because people think that the ad is like trying too hard or being corny. Now, that mostly happens in like youth, I would say, but at the same time, it does happen with adults. But that's why I call it the problem with every Gen Z person. Okay, not everyone. Like, personally, when I see an advertisement, I will like critique it in my head as someone who studies marketing, but I'll still be like, okay, they tried, marketing is hard, that's, yeah. But anyways, in conclusion, what did we learn? We love marketing, and we love Siri Talks Back. So honestly, that's all I have to say for this episode. Those are pretty much the things that haunt me in my head on not a daily basis, but sometimes I'll just think up like something that's confusing and hurts my brain, and I don't even know why I think of it, but I'll just think of things like that, and I decided, why don't I confuse you and make you suffer as well? Just kidding. But if you're suffering from these thoughts, then my comedy and like my Siri-ness helps, I guess. Okay, now I'm just rambling, and I've been pretty crazy in this episode. So first of all, thank you for watching, for all the support, and for listening to me being kind of crazy. But anyways, goodbye everyone. Thank you so much for watching the episode. Please check out the other ones. I don't remember my outro fully, and I'm being like honest and full disclosure here because that's what I believe in. But yeah, been like, I don't remember half of the things that I usually think of for my podcast. So just thank you so much for watching. Have a good noon, day, night, dawn, dusk, evening, afternoon, every single time zone thing, whatever. And daylight savings exists too. Just like dropping that in there. But anyways, thank you everyone for everything. Thank you everyone for everything. Like all the support, all the love, all the views, all the listening to me rambling on and on forever is just super sweet. So goodbye everyone. As always, this is Siri's podcast.